My name is Wendy. I am a part-time reseller. For all that don't know me, I sell on platforms such as Poshmark mainly, eBay and Mercari, and I'm also a full-time postal worker. I work for USPS. Keeps me busy, but I love to resell. Anyways, I thought I would pop on here and do a top 20 in 2020 video of all my sales, all my top sales in 2020. Or maybe a little more than 20 because some of them did tie. So I couldn't really leave them out, but I just wanted to share some brands that did really well for me and actually sold pretty fast for the most part. We'll start from the bottom and work our way up to the highest sell. So the first one is this Juicy Couture backpack. It was new with tags. I purchased it from Kohl's way back when. I used to do like gift baskets. I would make and sell gift baskets before I kind of really got into reselling. But they were buy one, get one half off. So they averaged about $15 a piece. They retailed for like $99. I got several of them. Back when I first started reselling, I sold them on eBay for like $75. And I think one went to like Australia. So funny thing is it had an American flag on it. It sold for $65. It sold for in 30 days. I decided to break apart those gift baskets that I still had and just sell the bags individually. I wasn't going to do anything with the gift baskets. But like I said, I paid $15. After fees, I profited $37. The next is this J. Crew men's alpaca merino wool tartan plaid sweater. I purchased this retail arbitrage at Marshall's back in I think January, and it sold within 60 days. Super soft. I paid $15 for it. It sold for $65. So after fees, I made $40. The next thing is this Harvey's green seatbelt bag. It sold in 3 days. It sold for $78. I paid $18 for it at Savers. I think I grabbed 3 different Harvey's bags that day. This one was the cleanest. It didn't take hardly any time to clean it up. I need to still work on the other ones, but I listed this like ASAP because I believe this was right before St. Patrick's Day, and since it was green, I kind of knew it probably would sell, and it did. Within 3 days. It sold for $78. I paid $18. After fees, I profited $44.40. And next is this Tory Burch Vanessa bow flats, size 10.5. I purchased these from Goodwill for $4. They weren't marked up. I don't guess they knew what they were. Sold them for $80. They sold in 69 days. I think I purchased them before Christmas this last year, and it took 69 days to sell. I think they ended up selling around February sometime. But after fees, I profited $60. There was a little stone missing off of there, which I reached out to the buyer as I was packing them up, and they said that was fine. So I wanted to make sure she was still okay with it before I shipped them. The next are these Dansko XP Pro patent clogs. They were a size 37, which equivalent is like 7, I believe. Sold in 7 days. They were half off of Savers and they had them marked at 60, which is a lot. So I paid $32 after tax, and it still seems like a lot, but looked up comps. A lot of them were going for at or above what I sold them for. I sold them for $80. They were like almost like new. After fees, I profited $29.88, which was okay with me because I sold within a week. Next is this Lovers and Friends new tag heart sweater. I purchased these, it was size small. I purchased this from a local discount store called Half of Half Name Brand Clothing, and it sold within 13 days. I got it listed before Valentine's Day. Super adorable. Sold for $80. I believe I paid $20 for this. After fees, I profited $44. Next is this Rachel Zoe New Tag Teddy jacket. It was a size small. I kind of just bought this on a whim. I at the time, I didn't know that the teddy jackets were really a thing, but I was like, this is definitely a fashion statement. Somebody will love this. And with it being the Army olive green, I knew somebody would like it. But anyways, I purchased it from Marshall's I purchased it from Marshall's with the retail arbitrage for $26. It sold in 92 days, a little bit longer. Sold for $82 though. And after fees, I profited $39.60. The next is these pair of Uggs. I almost left these off because I almost didn't get paid for these. It was kind of a bad situation. These Ugg Classic Knot short boots, they were like new. The shearling on the inside had no wear whatsoever. The bottoms looked like they may have been tried on. But they sold in 80 days. I took an offer of $85. I had them listed, I think, for $135 or something like that. I realized around Christmas, because they sold, just this last month, I realized that after 6 days, I still did not have my my earnings released on Poshmark. And so I reached out to the buyer and Poshmark both, and I had asked her if she could go ahead and accept the items so I could get paid. And then I reached out to Poshmark, and she came back to me and she said that she was in the middle of a claim and stuff, and that as soon as she tried them on, that where the little tie is, it broke off, and she didn't know if it was dry rot and how old they were. And I said, well, they're really not meant to be yanked on. Any type of leather, you don't need to yank on it. They were size 11, so I really don't know how big her foot was. If her foot didn't easily go into a size 11 Ugg, oh my gosh. Okay. So anyways, I was like, well, we'll see what Poshmark says. It's way past time for you to even open up a claim. So I don't know why I'm not even, getting my earnings before this. But after I reached out to Poshmark, they went ahead and released my earnings. So I guess she wasn't able to file a claim after all. I feel bad for her, but at the same time, she should have initiated that right away. Anyways, sold in 80 days. I paid only $10 for them at Goodwill. After fees, I profited $58. And the next are these, this Kate Spade Heart Embossed Jogger set. It was an extra large. I purchased it from Goodwill. They had it priced at like $25, which I was kind of willing to pay for. There was just a pinprick in the back where the tag was because they put a double barb in there, and so it made a bigger than usual deal. But when I got to the register, he only charged me half price, so I only paid $12.50 for them, which I was fine. It wasn't the color of the week, so I don't know if they just are colorblind or they just were feeling really generous. But it took 100 days to sell. I took an offer of $85. Cost of goods, fees, I profited $55.50. So the next is this Juicy Couture pink striped sequins backpack. Again, I got it from Kohl's. This one sold for a little bit more and a little bit faster. Took only 21 days to sell. Sold for $85. With my cost of goods and fees, I profited $53. The next is this Lovers and Friends. It's a size small, cherry red Tay sweater. It had the flare sleeves, super uber soft. Sold in only 6 days. I did list this one as well before Valentine's Day. I think this sold a little faster than the other one. Yes, it sold like a week faster. It sold for $85. With my cost of goods, I believe I paid $20 for this at that half of half name brand clothing store as well. I profited $48. Next is this Lovers and Friends again. I was on a Lovers and Friends kick. They had a lot of designer stuff from Revolve. This actually took 210 days to sell, which was about right at 7 months. It needed a specific kind of buyer because it was very, very revealing. it is this red lace Zelda gown. So it kind of had like a bodysuit, and then it was this long lace gown from top to bottom. Had this like plunging neckline. It was gorgeous. No flaws except for the tag was starting to come undone at one of the sides. Purchased it for about $25 at that name brand clothing store, half of half store. I sold for $90. After fees, I profited $47. Next, these Free People boots. These things were amazing. They are Dylan lace-up boots. They were in the color blue, like no flaws on them, like new. I think they were size 37. They sold in 22 days. Purchased them for $26. I did pay up for these. They are still, the style is still listed online at the Free People site, but the blue color is not. So the blue color was kind of denim colored. Sold for $99. After fees and cost of goods, profit is $53.20. I did purchase this from a local consignment store. To me, it's one of my favorites. I usually only get dollar finds there, but occasionally I find some really good boots. Next is this Kate Spade Prestwick Noel Quinn tote. It was like almost a neon yellow embossed purse. Couple of like marks on the patent. I did disclose it sold for $100. I purchased it at Savers for like $25. The buyer she was happy with it. I put a little vintage silk scarf. I tied it around the purse and sent it with it. It did match, and she left me an awesome review. After fees and cost of goods, I profited $55. And did I say this one? It sold in 54 days. Next is this amazing Pendleton mohair wool coat. It was size 3X. It was big. And I knew that it would sell because of that size. Sold in 51 days. I purchased it from that same local consignment store. I used my 20% off coupon that I get. I have a punch card there. It sold for $121. I took an offer, went back and forth. I had it listed for quite a bit more, but my cost of goods was about $22. So after fees and cost of goods, I made $76.80. But it was pretty amazing. Next are these Birkenstocks. They were Paris black T-strap Mary Jane clogs. That's a mouthful. They were a size 38. They were in pretty good condition. I got them half off at Savers. I still paid $30 for them. But the sale, I sold them for $135 in that 21 days. After fees and cost of goods, I made $78. And next, this Kate Spade Cedar Street Hazy Floral Maze Purse. That's a mouthful. It did have a little wear on the bottom, which I disclosed. But I think this purse may have still been listed online at the time, or it's a highly sought after one. I did my research though. I don't remember. It's been a hot minute since I've sold it. Sold in 18 days though. I purchased it at Goodwill for only $13. Sold for $140. And so I profited $99. So, yay. The next is this Fry Melissa beige leather bag. It was new at tags. It sold in only 15 days. Are you seeing a pattern here? Selling a lot of purses for a lot, and they're selling pretty fast. It sold for $145 in those 15 days. I did pay $50 for this at the name brand, half of half name brand clothing store. So my profit was $66 after everything came out. The next is this Fendi Zuka Mama baguette. I even had flawed in the title. It sold in 26 days. I did get some lowball offers on this, but I had it listed for like $350 initially. The outside cleaned up really well, nothing wrong with it really. There's something on the strap, just tiny bit, but the inside part was where it was flawed. The zipper was starting to come unsewn on the inside zip. but I definitely disclosed that. Lots of pictures. I purchased it at Savers on the half off day back before, you know, they stopped having all their sales. It was $40, and then my half off, I paid $20. I sold it for $200. So after cost of goods and fees, I profited $140. The next is this fry. Once again, I believe this one didn't have tags. It was new without tags. It was a Melissa Carbon gray satchel. There was some scratches, not like deep scratches, just, you know, like the wear look to how fry and bed stew and all that kind of are, but I don't think these were so much intentional. But I did take photos and I noted it. But I purchased this for $50 again, with that lot of fry bags that I did get from the Half of Half name brand clothing store. Sold in 10 days for $200 minus cost of goods and fees. I profited $110. The lady left me a review. She said she purchased it for her sister for a gift. Wasn't happy with it. She didn't open up a case. She just was cranky about it. She said there was more scratches, and had way more wear on it than what I noted and what she's seen, but I had pictures at every angle, so I did not hide anything. But I still made $110. I wasn't unhappy about that. The next was this Brahmin new tags. It was in the colorway passion fruit. It was a large Duxbury satchel. I did purchase it again at Half of Half name brand clothing store. It sold in 28 days. I think this colorway was still on the website. I think it's like $315 or $325 retail, and I had it listed for like $300, but I sold it for $275, and at 28 days, I did pay up for these. I paid $75. So after fees and cost of goods, I profited $145. And then the last one, like I said, I think I have more than 20. The last one is this Brahmin Amylite colorway. It was amazing. It had gold flecks and all these colors throughout. I did put sold out in the listing because this bag and this colorway, they don't have it for sale anywhere. And it's a large Duxbury Melbourne satchel bag. It sold within 1 day. The lady left me a review. It was amazing, but she reached out to me like initially and was like, hey, can you accept this offer? But I was at work. And she said, I've been looking for this bag forever. I didn't have time to respond because I couldn't look at my phone. So she initially canceled that first offer, and then she paid full price for the $300 that I had it listed for. And I paid $75 for it. So $300 minus the cost of goods and fees, I profited $165. I did do a video about these two Brahmin bags, and I will link it above so you can check it out. But anyways, so that is my top 2020 sales in 2020. I do have some that I did want to do some honorable mentions really quick. I'm not going to go in full details, but I will pop a couple pictures up here. So in 2020, I sold these as well. Vintage cape hooded poncho. It was a one-of-a-kind, handmade. Paid $4.99 for it at Goodwill, sold for $42. And then there's this new by Shawnee flattering bodycon dress, new at tags. I believe I paid $5.50 for this at Goodwill. It sold for $55. And then there's this Alice Paris ruffle cocktail dress, new at tags. This is one of those, I believe, boutique kind of brands that they sell through like catalogs. It was really gorgeous. It was strapless, and it had like the tulle ruffle and like the beaded front. I think I paid like $10, maybe $7 for this at Savers. It sold for $48. Then there was this Jenny Kane skirt. It kind of looked like one of those geode rocks. It was amazing. But Jenny Kane is actually a pretty good brand. I paid only $5 for this at Salvation Army. It sold for $40. And then Steve Madden quilted duffel bag, camo, new with tags. I bought it at Marshall's retail arbitrage for only $9, sold it for $50. It had some extra bags attached to it. And then there was these Kodiak boots. I paid, I think, $5 for these at Goodwill. They sold for $49. They didn't have a size tag on the inside. And they had like no wear whatsoever. I think nobody even wore them. So I just disclosed what size I thought they were compared to what I wear because they were a little tight. But I bought these at Goodwill. Was happy with that, and they were happy. They fit her perfect. And then there was this Ralph Lauren jeans, silver metallic jacket. I think I paid $10 for this at a local consignment store that was eventually went out of business, but I sold it for $45. And then there was this Worthington. I don't normally pick up Worthington, but this ombre wool coat, was amazing. I think it was an extra large. I think I paid $5 for this at like Goodwill, and it sold for $40. And this ModCloth Emily and Finn new tag dress, I picked up retail arbitrage at a dirt cheap while I was in Little Rock. I paid $10 for it. It sold for $45 pretty quick. And then there was these military green mechanics coveralls. They were uber soft. And I know coveralls and jumpsuits and all that are in. There really wasn't nowhere, like it's never even been worn. I bought it at the bins when I was in Little Rock. Paid only about $2 for it. It sold for $35, took an offer of $35. And there was this vintage hooded Japanese junior size trench coat. It was hooded and it was fitted at the waist, and I paid only about $5 for it at Savers. It sold for $40. And these Tory Burch flip-flops, half off at Savers. I think I paid about $3, sold them for $35. And this Steve Madden floral beaded mules. These things were adorable. They had these little bees on the front. I think I paid about $8 for them, sold them for about $40. Can't remember if I got them at Goodwill or Savers. And then there was the Sack Roots koi fish bag. It was adorable. There was a little bit of an ink stain, which I disclosed on the inside. I paid about $8 to $10. I don't remember. I sold it for $42. I think I got that at Goodwill. I can't remember. And then there was this Free People sweater. I think it was alpaca. I don't remember. I paid about $5 for it at my favorite consignment store. I sold it for about $42. These Independent Boot Company leopard boots. They fit kind of small. I paid about $10 for them, sold them for $45. And there was this Nicole Miller diaper bag. I purchased several of them from Stage, one of our department stores. Oh, I got an eye twitch. One of these department stores locally that went out of business. They went out of business everywhere, but I think I ended up paying about $18 a piece for them. They were really nice. I think they retailed for like $99. I have several people in my family who are having babies anyway, so I said if they don't sell, I will give them one. But I paid $18. It sold for about $65, which is what I had it listed for. I sold some others for $50, I believe. I have like 3 different styles, I think. And then there are, the last but not least, there's this Valentino bracelet. I had it in black and pink both. I purchased it at a yard sale from somebody that I have a relationship with, like a buying relationship. She is a perfume rep and she sells me perfume samples and jewelry. She's also a jewelry rep. And so like this is one of those gift with purchases that you get. And it comes in a little like drawstring bag. I've gotten some Yves Saint Laurent stuff from her, which I haven't listed yet. But I think I paid about 50 cents to $1 maybe at most. I think most of the time it's just a quarter. But it sold for $30. I do have some that I've bundled for like 2 for $30 if they want one of each color, which I'm all out of the pink now. Some have sold for $20, but that was a really good buy. So yeah, that is my top 20 sales in 2020. That is a mouthful. And then some honorary mentions there of some of my favorite sales. I would love to see your top sales in 2020 videos. If you've done one as well, tag me so I can watch it. I love these videos. So y'all have a great night or day. Bye.